So happy Friday. I'm so happy to see all of you. This is awesome. It's so funny. I come down here and I get all set up, so that all I have to do at the very end is just go click. Well, when you set up too soon, everything shuts itself down after a certain amount of time. So then you just have to start all over again. I don't know why I do that. I should just wait till the last minute and then come and do it. But then it takes, then you're like, oh no, I have to hurry. So I try to be prepared, and then it's just you never can win, right, with technology. But hey, who cares? Because I got a cool drum shirt on.
You really do.
So
Yay.
this is my new, and in fact, I saw something that I'm gonna have some new shirts coming because somebody sent me and they said, this has your name all over it, and I was like, you're right. I might have to break down and get some, new shirts. I won't tell you what they're like, but they're really cool. So I thought what we would do today, and I forgot last week, I had written it on my calendar and then I totally forgot, is we have talked about my little bear mascot who has come to all the different recitals. So we're going to do a new thing each week where the bear will have a new outfit on for you. So not
Oh,
only do you get to guess what shirt am I going to wear, but what is the bear, more importantly, what is the bear going to be wearing? So he happens to be wearing what we were going to do for our last recital, and this is his Batman outfit.
oh,
He actually
cool.
has a Batman mask, but I can't find it. I don't know where it is. But we were going to do a superhero theme. So just know the next few are going to probably be superheroes. And he was going to pretty much kind of like save the day at the recital. There's always kind of like a kill scene or something bad happens. And then either the students rush in and resuscitate everyone, or the bear is the hero. And so the story behind the bear is, so my best friend in college, so this is going back, this bear's been around. He's as old as me almost. I was getting ready to go to PA school. I was getting ready to move to Atlanta, and this would have been about 1989. And he actually has, you see his green pants, that gives you a little clue. And he didn't have boots back then. These are special new boots. Well, not new, but new since then. But he had a scrub outfit on. So he had a little scrub top, a hat, bouffant cap, and he had a little mask, and he had scrubs, and his name was Dr. Bear. And my best friend gave it to me when I went to PA school, and I've had him with me. In fact, I used to put him in my car, and I would actually buckle him in. He would sit like either in the front seat or the back seat. He had his buckle on because he was, safe. And he would travel around and ride around with me. And in his pocket, I had like, a scissor and a tongue blade and a Q-tip, just in case he was like ready to go. And at one point he got a name tag. He's wearing my name tags sometimes. But anyway, so he's been around with me. So I thought that would be fun. And then two other show and tell that I had mentioned last week. And I've been going through papers and old ticket stubs and kind of throwing some away and keeping some. And I came across, we talked about Steve Reed last week. Well, I had forgotten I have his signature, and I met him. I cannot remember where, though, because I usually remember that sort of thing, like very vividly, the story. But honestly, I don't remember when I met him, but I think it was obviously after a concert or a clinic or something. But um, I did see them play live, so I don't know. I don't have a big story about it. Might have been one of those just, hey, will you sign this? Because otherwise it would have been more memorable and I would have had a big story. But here's the CD that we talked about. And so I just thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I need to show and tell that. And then we talked about the Rowloff boys. And I have all kinds of these. This was the only one I could find so far, but this is one of their zany outfits that I was telling you about that they always have at the conferences, and they always have these matching suits. I need to find out where they get their suits, but they're really zany and wacky. This one's not that crazy, but sort of psychedelic. But here's one, and if I find others, I'll bring them out. But every time I saw them, I would always get my picture with their outfits and me. But I did find a poster of theirs. I don't fall off my chair here. So here's a poster. So now this is a funny poster. So you see the top. Who says we don't take percussion literature seriously, right? That's a pretty serious picture. They got their timpani sticks and their marimba sticks and a gong behind them. Well, if you open the rest of the poster, whoops, you guys didn't see the right side. I got to do this right. I should have practiced. The rest of the poster. So, that's just typical of them. They just always are so funny. And, but that's Chris and Chris, and a lot of the bucket pieces that we play, including Bucket Bonanza, are written by them or people that they kind of contract and submit percussion literature to. And they're just really fun, and they've revolutionized percussion ensemble, because I remember when I was in college and we did percussion ensemble, they would dust off some old thing and it would be really complex, but it just didn't groove. It didn't feel, you just memorized it, you learned it. It was real stuffy, and it was not fun, and there's no reason why you can't do something cerebral and fun, like we do. So I'm happy that they came along and they made, that is really catchy. Like, what kid wants to learn some painful percussion ensemble piece, to perform? Why even bother with it, right? But when you have something really fun and it's maybe a bucket piece or something silly, even though you're having fun, you're learning how to read music, you're playing with other people, you're learning patterns. When you make things engaging, people want to participate, just like us, right? So I'm happy they came along, and I've purchased lots of their stuff. And so let's see. I want to open things up. I don't want to do all the talking because sometimes I get going. I want to hear how everybody's doing. So let's see. I'm going to start with Joanne. How was your week? And did you have any new musical adventures or anything you want to tell the group about?
No, not really. I've just been, I'm still trying to catch up on all my 4 weeks of being out of sorts. So
Well, we're glad you're back.
I am too, and I'm happy to. Yeah, so I'm waiting for all the input from everyone else.
Are you cool? Are you sweltering down there?
Actually, I've been fine. I don't know. Matter of fact, I turned my air off for a couple days. I just turned it
Wow.
back on last night. So I don't know if it's me, or of course I haven't been out, so that could have a lot to do with it.
Where are you?
In Georgia, Atlanta.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I saw your cat, so I'm glad.
Yeah. She's right here. She's right next to me.
Yay!
She's
Yay.
keeping she's keeping my drumsticks warm.
Nice. Love it. Okay, let's see. Colleen is back. We didn't scare you away. You came back.
No.
Yay. Tell
No.
us how you're doing this week. What's going on with you?
I had a good week. I practiced drumming on the steering wheel at stoplights, and I was doing strawberry ice cream and having fun with that. And just the drumming makes listening to music so much fun. So I had a good week, and I watched the video on the 17 drums, and that was fun. I don't understand how that guy kept all those drums above the ground. And
I know.
but yeah.
We've got a lot of his stuff. He is really super fun to watch, and he's a great player, and he's got that great sense of humor. And he just does some amazing things. I'll have to pull up some of them, but one of my favorites and our favorites here, he did a Hawaii 5-0 at the beginning, which is one of my favorite songs that got me interested in drumming when I was a little kid. I would hear the entrance to Hawaii 5-0, the program, when I was probably 4 or 6, I don't know, somewhere in there. And the beginning is, it's got some timpani in there. But anyway, he took that beginning part, and he's a master at editing, because that editing that he does where he puts himself in, that is complicated stuff, and he is fast and he's good at it, and that takes hours and hours and hours. I know, because I've tried and I can't get anywhere near that fancy. I'm just happy I can do what I do. But he basically films himself playing these drums, and he'll film a scene where he plays like 10 drums, and then he'll like cut it, and then he goes down the stairs, and then he goes in the elevator, and he goes outside, and he just keeps going with this. And it looks like he's got 1,000 drums, but he's using like the same 15, and he's just editing them and splicing it, so it looks like he's running around a building and around outside, and he's just doing that beginning part, and then it's just hilarious. So he's got some great ideas. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'll have to pull out some others for you to watch.
And I saw videos of you as well, working your magic on the drums. And so
oh, cool.
That was enjoyable. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Awesome. I'll have to find some. Oh, cool. Let's see. Jasmine's always, all somewhere around the world. Where are you today, Jasmine?
Oh, I went back to New Zealand. Yeah, I like the New Zealand beach. This is very nice. Yeah, you need to send us around that link to your video where you're on the lake and you're playing a tree and you play the side of the boat and you play the
I can send those.
Yeah, I've
got some different ones. I have one where I'm playing on a muffler at a lake, and it was for a contest. And it was called Rhythm is Everywhere or something like that. And the idea was you're supposed to play on something unusual and send it in. And when I did that, somebody's going by on a boat and they're like, yay, or something like that, and capture that in the video. And I think I'm playing on a tree in that one. But I have some other ones where I'm on a different lake and playing on a pontoon and some different things like that. So I'll have to pull up a few of those maybe for this week to pull those back out. They're kind of fun to watch. But the person who I really liked during that contest actually played on his own baby. He had like a baby in a I think I sent it to y'all. It was been a while now, but he had his own little baby. I mean, a really young baby in like one of those little chest carrier things, and the baby's kind of like facing the dad, totally asleep. And the guy's a drummer, obviously, and he starts, playing on his baby. And I mean, he got some great sounds out of that baby, and the baby never woke up or anything. And I was just like, now that's good. That's better than the muffler. I never would have thought to do this, something like that. But anyway, that was really. You can make music on anything, But and the baby probably liked it, especially if it had like some kind of burp problem or whatever, like dad's back there doing the tapping on the back. So let's see. I think, who else is here? Joanne, we haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing?
Okay. I don't know why my Fridays have been so busy, but they have. But anyhow, I'm glad to be here today.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. And there's Barb. Barb's not driving. She's finally somewhere. Where are you, Barb?
I'm in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And yesterday, musically, I went to see My Fair Lady, which was fabulous.
Wow.
It was a matinee. And today I might have to pop off because my neighbor fell and broke her ankle. I'm waiting to hear back from the hospital.
Okay.
Once out and she tested positive. So
oh, yeah.
Nobody will be going in to take care of her and feed her. So I'm trying to set up Meals on Wheels and don't know how to do it. So they're going to call me back.
Okay, well, that's what an awesome friend you are. That's really cool. Hey, I wanted to ask about My Fair Lady. Was there a live band or was it piped in music?
It was a live band at Walton Arts Center. The sets were spectacular. This is Broadway, traveling Broadway stuff. And the sets were spectacular. They had the big winding staircase and, they didn't miss anything. Music.
Oh, that's great. Could you see the musicians or were they in the pit?
They were in the pit. But we could hear them. They got
Could you hear any cool percussion? Did you recognize anything that?
I heard it, but I don't know that. I mean, if you'd told me ahead of time to listen and see what I heard, then I could write them down or remember, but.
Okay. Well, cool. That's awesome.
And we lucked out. We got top balcony front row at the last minute. It wasn't there the night before. I walked in 4 hours ahead and got those seats. It was great.
Oh. Wow. That's awesome. Okay, let's see Rebecca. We have not seen Rebecca for a while. Is that the Rebecca we know? Which Rebecca is that? Oh, maybe did we lose her? I saw it a minute ago. She might come back. Hopefully she'll come back. Did I get everybody? I know Valerie's behind the scenes there. Okay. Well, I'll just tell you a few of my little highlights. So I went to a concert last night at Red Rock, so it's outside. It was gorgeous weather. And I took a friend of mine who is a childhood friend that I've grown up with. When I was a little kid, we lived on the same block. And so she was 5 years older than me, but we were always really close friends, and happened to have two friends that came in from Atlanta that were going to go to this concert at Red Rocks. And they told me about it about 2 months ago. And my friend who was on Facebook knew they were coming in and made some little comment like, wow, you guys are coming all the way from Atlanta to go to a concert at Red Rocks. I've grown up in Colorado my whole life and I've never been to Red Rocks for a concert. And I was like, oh, we got to fix that. So I got a ticket and we went and saw Bonnie Raitt, who was a blues singer, you may know.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan, but I like blues, and I certainly know her, and I know she's been around forever, and so I was like, that would be a good concert to take my friend to. So, and it was a full moon, so you could see the moon come up, and it was just really spectacular. And then it was really cool. On the way home, we were dropping off our friends who were visiting at someplace else. And in the middle of the road was this huge owl. And it was sitting kind of like in the middle of the road. And we were on this kind of in the mountains kind of driving along. And I saw it. I didn't know what it was at first. And then it flew off. And it had this huge wingspan. It was like one of those Harry Potter owls, And it was just like, wow, that's so cool. You don't usually get to see something like that. So it's not musical, but that's kind of exciting. Oh, my phone's going off. Sorry about that. Spam. Let's get rid of that. We don't want to hear about that. So, and then the second thing was my troopers, who we talked about, performed yesterday, and I was actually able to catch it and watch it because I have a subscription to where you can watch it. And I was able to watch them at 5 o'clock before we left, and they did so well. They made the top 12, which is, what you want to do, and that's in the world. And their place in 12th place and 13th place was .050. So, like, not even a half a point, but like a 50 out of 100 of a point difference. So, I mean, it was just awesome, and that has not happened in many, I don't know, 25, 30 years. It's a big deal for troopers, so I was thrilled for them, and my little buddy that I've been communicating with, he was just so excited. Well, they get to perform again today at the semifinals, and if it goes well, they get to perform on Saturday, and that is like the pinnacle. It's the Olympics for drummers, and so I'm so excited that they're working so hard and doing so good. And so that was like way exciting, and I'm excited to follow them along. So that's really, really cool. And so, gosh, that's a lot of exciting musical stuff. And when I mentioned the tickets, I came across some tickets. So this ticket, I just decided instead of putting it in a book or something where I'll never look at it again, is from Earth, Wind, and Fire, November 14th, 1979. And you could barely read it. It was here in Denver. But, nowadays, like last night I went to the concert, you show your phone and you got the little ticket, like this is cool, to have a ticket, a real ticket made out of paper, that many years later. Nowadays, what are they going to do in 50 years? Like pull up their phone and go, look at this, that's just... sometimes the good old days actually kind of were the good old days. So anyway, I put it on the wall. I was like, oh yeah, we need to put that up there and talk about it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, well, let's see. Let's do some drumming here. Enough of this talking stuff. I think I'd like to start with, I want to pull up the food chart just to go through that a little bit, especially for some of our new people, and some of our people who've been here can always use a review. So let's see if I can get that to work. Let's do this. Because these rhythms are common ones, and we see them a lot. Whoa, maybe not that big. Okay, so this is our little food And I like using food because food, you could use anything. You could use animals, whatever people recognize as words. There's a cadence to the rhythm of speaking, in any language. And so here's a few. And I thought it'd be fun to just kind of go through these. And then maybe next week, I can pull up, or I can even send it to you this week, a song that I've cut and pasted these different things into one song. So it's very doable once you learn these. This is like kind of our alphabet. You could put it into like a little song, and we could maybe do that again, because I want to kind of hit all the different levels of the different people that are here, and not, I want it to be inclusive. So let's just kind of go through some of these. So some of them are pretty simple. So we'll just kind of play some of them, or you can tap whatever you have. Tap on your table, tap on your legs. But something like hot dog, hot dog. So basically this is very simple. This is a quarter note, and it's just back and forth like this. And, it could be played really slow or really fast, but I kind of like, let's just try it. So I'll give you 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hot dog, 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 hot dog. Pretty straightforward, not too complicated. And that's a great thing just to put on your favorite music. Find the beat, which usually you can, and just kind of go back and forth. Just back and forth. You can start with whatever hand you like, or you can even do one hand over and over and over for a while until you get tired, and then do the other hand over and over and over. Or you could have fun and do like 2 and 2 or 4 and 4. Play around with it. Do whatever you want. So even though it's simple, it doesn't have to be boring. And so, start out maybe just doing alternated to your favorite song. Or you can even clap, back and forth, or click, back and forth. And then you can experiment. If you find your mind starts to wander, it's time to do something new. So, and I do that still to this day. I always have something on my music stand that I'm working on. And when I get to the point when I'm looking at it and playing it, and I'm thinking about my errands, or where I'm going to lunch, or what I'm going to eat for breakfast, it's time to do something else. I'm done with that. I got it, because my mind is going, okay, I'm going to go do this now. So that's when you have to do something else. So if you find that you're doing this and you're just zoned out, it's okay to do that for a while, but you don't want to do that for 2 hours or something, because you're not getting any better and you're kind of wasting your time, unless you're having fun. If you're having fun, keep doing it. But if you find that you're zoned out to the point where you're, sometimes it's nice. It's kind of like meditating, but other times it's time to say, okay, I'm going to do 3 over here and 1 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And a lot of our music is in 4. So that works really well. So that's a real basic one. Grape soda is kind of like the next level up. So we've got, these are eighth notes. That means 2 of these equals 1 of these. And so this would be like grape soda, grape soda, grape soda. So they're twice as fast. Again, you could do it one-handed. Grape soda, grape soda. This is also, I kind of mentioned last week, ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta. I remember when I was in first grade, that's what they used. And then when I got to band in 4th grade, I'm just like, I never heard my band director ever say ta or tt, ever. And I was just like, They would always say 1, 2, and, and started learning, the numbers. But the ta tt works great for young kids or people who don't, numbers kind of freak them out a little bit. So, but it's the same concept. It's kind of, I like long, short, short, long, because that makes sense to me. This one's long, these 2 are shorter, the 2 shorters equal the long one, rather than the ta tt thing. It's okay, but I guess it works for some people. Same concept. So basically, let's just try grape soda, grape soda. And you can do it if you want an easy way to be start with the left hand for us lefty people who never get to do lefty stuff because it's a right hand world. So it'd be grape soda, grape soda. It's kind of easy to do that, more easy than to go back and forth sometimes. So let's try it. Left hand's the grape, and the right hand gets 2 sodas. 1, 2, here we go. Grape, soda, 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 grape, soda. And we can end on the, kind of leaves you hanging. To end on the soda. You can end on the grape if you want to. But, so that one's, kind of like the next level up. Then what do? Well, we just switch it around. Okay, so we could say soda, grape, but let's pick something new and different. How about apple pie? Okay, so it's exactly the same concept. This time I'm going to do the right hand for the apple and the left hand for the pie. In real life, we would alternate. And they'll tell you in music, they'll put an R or an L, how they want it, especially in a drum line, because it has to look uniform. But for us, I think doing 2 things on one hand is easier than trying to alternate at this point. So we're going to do apple pie, apple pie. 1, 2, here we go. Apple pie, 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 apple pie. Okay, so the next thing that we do is, these are kind of going in order in a way. We got hot fudge sundae. And so it's basically, you could say soda apple, but that doesn't make any sense, right? So let's do something new. Plus, who doesn't like a hot fudge sundae, right? So now we could go back and forth, but I think what I want to keep is to do 2 of these on the same hand. So right, right, left, left, because it just makes it's a little easier for our brain to keep track. The right side versus the left side. So it's going to be like hot fudge sundae, hot fudge sundae. And notice it's twice as fast as the hot dog, hot dog, hot fudge sundae. So I could click hot dogs, hot, and sing hot fudge sundaes. Hot fudge sundae, hot fudge sundae, hot fudge sundae. So you can kind of see, eighth notes, which are the ones that are connected, are exactly twice as fast. When I was clicking the hot, it was here and here, or the dog was here, and I had to put a note in between. I had to sing something in between. So think about a piece of pie. You divide it into 4. That's going to be your quarter notes. 4 in we'll just keep it simple, like we'll just pretend all music is in 4, but it's not. But for now, we'll say our pizza's always got 4 slices. They're either 4 big slices, or you could start to split the slices in 2. So one of the slices might have 2 things in it. And so that's a good concept. And in a moment, we're going to make our slices tiny. We're going to add this extra line here. It's going to be 16th notes. So 16 slices in that pie. So let's go back to hot fudge sundae. And we're going to go right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. 1, 2, here we go. Right, right, left, left. Hot fudge sundae. Hot fudge sundae. Hot fudge sundae, hot fudge sundae, hot fudge sundae, hot fudge sundae, hot fudge sundae. And of course we could go slower, we could go faster. That's a pretty good tempo. I kind of like that tempo. Tempo means speed in music. So like if the conductor says, watch your tempo, people, then you're either rushing or dragging. Rushing means you're playing faster than you're supposed to. You're rushing, just like you'd be rushing around the house to get ready. Dragging, just like the word, you're just dragging around, like you got to speed it up. You're behind the beat where you need to be. And so now we're going to get a little more fancy, where we kind of did this, I think, last week, coconut shrimp. This looks really scary, but it's really not bad, and I won't go into all the detail of it. For right now, let's just memorize it, that it's coconut. And why don't we do it all on the right hand, coconut shrimp. That way it just keeps it straight, You don't have to worry about the alternate. This one's also Tennessee, 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 versus this one, which is the reverse, Kentucky, Kentucky. So this one's Tennessee, this one's Kentucky. So any kind of words will work, but who doesn't like, again, coconut shrimp, unless you have an allergy, I guess. So coconut shrimp. So it's kind of like three things in a row, kind of fast. Coconut. And then the shrimp is long. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, here we go. Coconut shrimp. 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 Okay, so then we get to, oh, Rice Krispie treat. Wow. Okay, so Rice Krispie treat. So this one's a bit longer. It's an eighth note. It's only got the one line. And these guys got two lines. They're 16ths, so they're twice as fast as this one. And this guy's still kind of like equal to 2 eighth notes or 4 16th notes. So hopefully it's not freaking anybody out. Those are really the three big ones. If you can understand the relationship between the quarter note, the eighth note, and the 16th note, you're pretty good to go for most music. And then we get into the dots and the 32nd notes and drumming and all that. But for us, those three will get you a way long way. 100,000 miles on your car. Those three. If you can get those three and you just mix and match. You know, it's like 3 colors. You got blue, red, and green. And then you just, you can do a lot with those. You know, mix and match and mix and match and mix and match. And then you can add accents, louder, softer. You can tell your story with those three and never learn another thing in your life and get by pretty much. Okay, so it seems like a lot, but it's only 3. And just know, like, it doesn't keep going on and on and on. Those are the basic 3, and then we get into all the nuances. So let's do, I'm going to do right on the rice, and then I'm going to do the crispy Rice Krispie treat, because I want these 3 to kind of be together. So the rice is by itself, and then the crispy treat are all like, kind of like 3 things in a row, almost exactly like the coconut is 3 things in a row. So don't let that freak you out. But just know these 3 are kind of together. And this one's kind of by itself. So I'm going to stick it Rice Krispie treat. And then there's a space. 1, 2, here we go. Rice Krispie treat. I'm going to really give it a long space. Rice Krispie treat. Space. Rice Krispie treat. Space. Right Krispie treat, space, right Krispie treat, space, right Krispie treat. So that space is pretty long because we're going fairly slow. If we were going faster, Rice Krispie treat, Rice Krispie treat, you know, but we don't want to do that right now. Okay, here we go. Chocolate strawberry. Okay, so chocolate, you know, is the same as like these 2 or these 2 or these 2. It's just chocolate. So we don't want to do chocolate. That would be a triplet. Chocolate. We're just going to do chocolate. Okay, no O in the middle. And then strawberry. So the way I think I want to stick this one, let's do all the chocolate on the right hand. Chocolate, strawberries, chocolate. Okay, let's try it like that. So right hand gets chocolate. Left hand gets strawberry. 1, 2, here we go. Chocolate, strawberry, chocolate, strawberry, chocolate, strawberry, chocolate, strawberry. Let's keep going. Chocolate, strawberry, chocolate, strawberry, chocolate, strawberry. And then I think I want to skip ahead a little bit so we can get to some other stuff here. Let's skip our cinnamon oatmeal and our milk and cereal. Oh gosh, we love avocado toast. We haven't talked about avocado toast in a while, but we used to talk about avocado toast a lot. And basically, these are 16th notes. There's 4 of them. Avocado toast, and then some space. So it's going to go da 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 space. Da 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 da. We're going to alternate this one. So start on your right, and it's going to be like avocado toast. Avocado toast. Let's try it. 1, 2, here we go. Avocado toast. Avocado toast space. Avocado toast. Avocado toast. Avocado toast. Avocado toast. Avocado toast. Avocado toast. Okay, we're going to skip cheese ravioli. Let's skip these others for now. Let's get to our other favorite, pepperoni pizza. Okay, so basically the only difference between avocado toast and pepperoni pizza, we got this extra little note here. Pizza instead of toast space. Okay, so let's just jump into pepperoni pizza. We're going to alternate it. 1, 2, here we go. Pepperoni pizza. 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 And even now, you could switch that and do pizza first and pepperoni. You can start to see, I could start to combine some of these things and actually turn it into music and turn it into a song. And it's actually fun. So I think I will leave it at that. But what I'll give you for homework is a 2 or 3 of where I've cut and pasted these into like a little song, and then maybe next week we'll just try it, or I can even send you a little video to play along with, so that you're not cold, that you've kind of tried it a few times and know where your stumbling blocks are, so that we could work on them. But the whole idea behind all of this, these rhythms are common, and you will see them over and over and over, and you'll get a lot of miles out of them, and you can create really cool stuff. And you could put on your favorite song and pick one of these and play along. It just depends on how fast the song is. If it's a really fast song, you're going to want to stay down here at the hot dog level. If it's a really slow song, you might be able to fill it in a little bit with some of these. So, any questions about this? Was it a good review for some of you?
Yes.
Awesome. And oh, by the way, Molly says hi. She let me know she's still searching to get a new computer. But once she does, she probably will miss one more week, and then she'll be back too, because she really is missing drums. But she's hoping to get a nice new computer that doesn't fail. So hopefully we'll have Molly back. So what I'd like to do next is our sticking pattern. Let me share my screen. I think we were going to do, let's go ahead and stick with this. I think it's safe to stick with this. This one doesn't have any of the rhythms we just talked about, but these are pretty catchy. And these are the Star Wars rhythms. You notice this is like got a 3 above it. So this is a triplet. And if I were going to play this with straight sticking, meaning alternated back and forth, it would be like ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum. I think of some kind of a march. People are marching in, like maybe not a wedding, but like a graduation or something. It's just very regal, like the king is marching in, da 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 dum, Star Wars. But so I guess to warm up, before we jump into this sticking, which is like, whoa, wait a minute here, let's just play this little figure, ba 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 bum. It's got 3 things, and it's going to start with our right and end with our left. So don't let this sticking fool you. It's just going to go ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum. So, and if you're looking at it messes you up, don't look at it. Just sing it in your head. da 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 dum, da 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 dum, and we're gonna go ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum. Let's try it. 1, 2, kind of slow. Here we go. Ba 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 bum, 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 ba 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 bum. And if it's hard to alternate it, you could go ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum. That's called sticking. When you do different, it's the same rhythm, but we're going to stick it different. People who play hand drums call it handing. You know, they'll say, hey, watch your handing. You're not doing the right handing. And for people who use sticks, we call it sticking. So that means, you know, the rights have to be where the R is and the L's have to be where the L is. And if it's not written, there's kind of a way that you just know it's meant to start with the right hand. And there's a few little rules, but most of the time there's kind of a standardization that you just kind of learn. That's sort of a natural sticking. So they don't always write the R's and the L's, but if they want it very specific, they will. So this one, what's happening is our sticking is a little bit fancy. So once you've kind of gotten that basic bum or the bum, now we're going to do it right, right, left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right. So let's try it with that sticking a little slower. So it'll be like bum, bum, bum. 1, 2, here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Right, right, left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right. Right, right, left, right. So this one's a little complicated, but you can kind of see we're building. You start out with the rhythm, maybe you alter the sticking, and then guess what the next step would be? We would apply it to a different location. So we got the rhythm now. Let's say we did. We'll jump ahead. Let's say we feel comfortable with the rhythm. Then you would try the sticking. Once you feel comfortable with the sticking on one surface, what are we going to do? We're going to apply it to multiple places. So this is on the snare drum, this is on the small tom, and this is on the large tom. So for me, I think my other camera is hopefully pointing at my drums. Oh, Sony. All right. Well, you probably can't see it all that well, but my snare drum is in the middle. My small tom is up above. My large tom is next door. So it would be like snare, snare, small, large, snare, snare, large. I can't sing it. It's easier to play. Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum. But you get the idea. So I don't expect you just to jump into it, but you get the idea. Okay, you start with the rhythm. You get that. When you feel comfortable with that, we do the sticking. You feel comfortable with the sticking, we move it around. And then it just keeps going like that, building different accents. Maybe some notes are quieter, maybe other notes are louder, that kind of thing. But this is a nice example. So I don't want to spend any more time than that on this particular exercise, but I know some of you are working on this. But what I want to get to is the bucket bonanza, because who doesn't like to play on a bucket? I mean, golly, you can't mess it up. You can't really hurt it. You can pound on it to death, and you know what? It's just fun. So let's see. I'm going to share my screen again, and let's see if we can identify some of these rhythms that we've been talking about. Okay, so here's our bucket bonanza that I think I sent along with the music that I slowed down a little bit. Here's the bucket king. Let's see which one I want to start with. I think I want to start with Buckets of Joy. This is the one that has the little soundtrack to it. So this is kind of, hopefully you're able to see my screen a little bit here. But hey, we noticed these notes. We've seen these before. Right, left, right. And then this is a click in the air. So it's just going to go bum, 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 click. And then, hey, this is Hot Fudge Sunday, right? They just connected it. Hot Fudge Sunday. So dun, 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 click. And then this little 2-bar phrase They call this a bar or a measure. 1, 2, repeats again. So let's just try this line. And let's just try it together. I won't put the soundtrack on, but it's going to be about like dun, 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 clack, dun, 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 clack, dun, 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 clack, dun, 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 clack. And that's the music that goes along with this. So hopefully you know that song. You've heard it before. I know some of you sent me renditions of it. Jasmine, sent me like different renditions of that. So that's always fun if you like hear it on a commercial or something like, oh, we did that in drum class. So let's just try this line a few times. Okay, about like, we'll go kind of fast. We'll go about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hot fudge sundae. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hot fudge sundae toast. Okay, so it's kind of like this could be a hot fudge sundae toast or hot fudge sundae grape, whatever was in our last examples. And then we got this click at the end. Let's do that again, okay? Let's slow it down just a little bit. About like 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And I'm using the correct how this would be counted. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. The quarter notes get their own. They get the, like in this one is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3, this is a 4. The eighth notes, we have to cram 2 of them in. So 2 of these equal 1 of those. So we put the and. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So, hey, it's not all that terrible. I know people like in the beginning are, it gets easier. Okay, let's just say it gets easier and it's not really a mystery. It's like, hopefully you had a good math teacher. Some people did and some people didn't. But people, usually if you ask them if they like math, they either loved math, and then the second question is, did you have a good teacher? And they'll say yes. And the people who you ask that say, I hate math, you say, did you have a good teacher? And they'll say no. You never hear anybody who says, I love math. Well, maybe you do. I love math and I had a terrible teacher. Maybe you have a few people like that. And then you might have the people who say, I hate math, but my teacher was excellent. You don't hear too many people say that either. It's just kind of interesting. Like people tend to like, if they just don't understand it, then I guess you could blame the teacher. But sometimes, like it's just sad because, it's hopefully you have somebody who can explain it to you in a way that you can understand and that it makes sense. And then, you always like what you're good at. Like when it's easy, it's always interesting. Like when you play something and you're good at it, you're like, oh, that's easy. And then you play something that you're not really good at yet, and you're like, oh, that's so hard. But then once it's easy, then you're like, well, that's not that hard. It's just because you don't know it yet. But once you know it, it's always easy when you can do something, right? But maybe you just didn't do it right off the bat. But the best things are the ones that you worked at and then you got good at. Then you're like, oh, wow, I worked at that. And it wasn't easy, but it's easy now. Now here's the hard thing that I'm working on. And there's always the hard thing. My hard thing is always over there. And I always have a hard thing. Because if you don't have the hard thing, you're just going to play the same old avocado toast. And you know what? You're going to get bored. And so is everybody else around you. They're going to be like, are we going to ever get off of this avocado toast and pepperoni pizza on to something more exciting? So you got to start somewhere. But just know, it's really not a mystery. So reading music, people get like a phobia. I know musicians who played their whole life and they're great musicians, but if you try to show them something like this, they'll like run screaming from the room, which is sad because, it opens up a lot. This is where I get my ideas. When I feel like I'm stuck and I'm doing the same old rhythms over and over, it's like I'm not really practicing. I'm just playing what I already know again and again. It's time to grow, to put something up that's not out of your reach, but just above, so that you have something to kind of like try for. And then once you get good at that, you're like, okay, now we got to like, knock it up a little bit here. So that's how you grow. That's with life, I guess, with anything. Keep persisting. Persist. Okay, let's see. Let's look at some of these. So guess what? We get to do our favorite rhythm, a whole nother line worth. And this is meant for two people. So it's kind of like the leader plays for 4 measures by themselves, and then the student gets to join in. And then we alter things, but that's not altered too scarily. These are things we've seen. So like if we think about this, here at letter A, it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So it's not too bad. And we have an accent on 2. So it'd be like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Let's just play that measure. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Let's try it again. 2, here we go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then we go to this one. We're just kind of doing what we did up above a minute ago. So it's kind of like, oh, we've seen that before. That was bum, 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 click. But the only difference, well, maybe it's not even a difference, we just didn't do it, was the accent. So that means this guy is louder than the others. So, and we really want to make it pop. So if you just make it a tiny bit louder, nobody's going to notice that, and it's not going to sound any different. And it's boring. It's like somebody who's monotone in their lecture. Boring, right? But when you get excited and talk faster and get quieter, it makes interesting listening to somebody a little bit better. So this is going to spice it up, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. The 4 is also loud. So the 1 and the 4 should be louder. The only way we're going to do that is really make all the other notes super quiet. So all these guys, instead of playing these guys louder, play everybody else quieter. That's the key to making your accents work. Like if you think, okay, I'm going to start off and I'm going to play super loud already, and now I got to do an accent. Like I got to slam that thing to make it pop. No, bring everybody down and just play where you were before. And your accents are there. You just didn't know it. So let's play this measure and try to get the 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And we'll slow it down a little bit. 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So that's kind of how you work your accents. And then again, here we're doing the same thing as this measure. The only difference is we added an accent on 4. So you see, we just are taking something, again, something fairly not too terrible, and doing something a little something to it. And then doing a little something else to it. And then you string this together, and it creates a song, and it creates interest. So this is kind of a fun piece. And the other thing about this bucket piece that I like, let's go back to the first one. Let's go back to the first one at letter A. Not only are you just playing always on the top of the bucket, sometimes you're on the side of the bucket or the rim of the bucket. So again, location can create interest. And so this one was one where the R's here, these little X's, are on the side of something. And then this was on the top. And then these L's are on the other side of the bucket, the left side. So we've got 3 things: the right side of the bucket, the left side of the bucket, and the top of the bucket. So if we were to play this figure, got to check and see, make sure we're not, how we're doing on time here. Time is going so fast today. Let's see. Oh, we're getting close. So let's just do this last little thing here. So let's just do this first part. Right, right, left, right. So it's side, side, top, side. Let's try that. 1, 2, here we go. Side, side, top, side. Once again. Side, side, top, side. Once again. Side, side, top, side. So it's, again, not too much of a mystery, but I think these are kind of fun. And we did a lot of talking in the beginning, so we didn't get to play quite as much. But I think for homework, I'm going to send you some food songs. And for those of you still working the bucket songs, we can still work on that. Does anybody have any special requests or drummers they want to talk about or anything that people would like to do next week? Or you can always send me an email or a chat.
No, but I'm thinking, can you angle your camera down more so your head is closer to the top of the screen and we can see your drums?
Okay. Yeah, and usually I have my side screen. Oh gosh, my side screen has got an advertisement now of I don't know what. But yeah, usually I've got my camera over here that I can show my drums better, but I can probably get that just a little lower so you can see the three different surfaces. And I have to climb up on the ladder and get my GoPro working so then you can see really good from the top. So I will do that for next time. Other suggestions or questions, or feel free to send me anything.
What is your email?
My email, I'm going to give you my best email is my first initial K and the last name is Newell, Newell. So K Newell at Emory, EMORY .edu, like education. And I get to keep that for the rest of my life because I have Emory in my veins. So, yes, Emory, let me keep my email. Gosh, can you imagine changing your email everywhere in your world? Oh, that's awful. Thank goodness they didn't do that to me. So, all right, well, I hope you have a great week. Thank you, Valerie. I will see you all next week. Send me messages, and I'll send you some homework.
Thank you.
Stay cool.
You too.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.